Okay, everybody. I'm at work, 8 to midnight tonight. And, about a half hour ago, I brought my dog Maverick with me. Maverick. Hi. And, normally, he goes in those questionable rooms down the hall. He's even gone to the bathroom down there a couple times in those rooms if he doesn't go before he comes in the house. Tonight, it's Monday. My client was sitting here in the living room eating dinner and watching TV, eating dinner. And I went down to start the laundry and change the sheets and get that ready in the hall over there. And I went down to that bathroom again to use the bathroom. But this time, the doors were all open. I usually close them to keep the dog out of those rooms. But this time, he didn't want to go in the rooms. So I left them open, and I left the bathroom door open, and the dog was sitting outside the bathroom door. So there's the bathroom, and then there's the 2 bedrooms. And I was, doing my business in the bathroom, peeing. And then, as I was peeing, the dog is he's got his ears up on alert, and he's looking in the rooms intently, and he's turning around, and he's looking in both rooms like this, and then he sat down, and he's in the doorway of the bathroom, staring at the rooms, and he's looking, and then all of a sudden, you hear, not just tapping this time, banging in the blue bedroom, banging, as if furniture was moving or thrown around. And he got scared and ran down. And I'm like, great. So I finished my business, flushed the toilet, washed my hands, and I'm looking in the dark rooms, and I turned the lights on. I walked into both rooms, and I'm like, I know something's in here. Obviously, someone's trying to get my attention. Because in all these years, 3 years in this house, I've never heard that. I've been here winter, spring, summer, and fall, 3 years. And this stuff just started this past month. If there was anything else, I never really noticed it until now. So I walked into the rooms, looked everywhere, nothing fell, nothing moved. But I felt a cold spot, real cold in one spot. And I just ignored it, and I looked around, and then I said, okay, well, you could stay in here then. And I shut the doors, the lights off, and shut the doors to all the rooms. But the dog even got scared tonight and wouldn't go in those rooms. He was staring in the dark rooms, and then that banging happened, and he took off. And I'm like, gee, great. So if the dog is on alert and getting scared of something now, there's obviously something there. So I told my client again. He's like, there's nothing in here. I'm here all the time. I'm like, my stepmother was the same way. I would film with my cell phone. I would just video her sleeping on the couch, and there would be orbs with faces in them flying all around her, flying around the room, whatever, stuff moving, and she's totally oblivious and would not, and I'd wake her up and show her, and she'd, stop with the nonsense, and I'm like, look at the footage I got, there's literally, and she's like, that you made that up, there's got to be some app on your phone. I'm like, no, it's real. There's people in life that no matter what you do, they can witness something right in front of their face and just go into denial mode. I don't know I don't know how, that is sad. That is really scary that you actually have human beings on this planet. No wonder they can't believe in Jesus. No wonder they can't believe in God or the afterlife, because they see hauntings. You can show them photos. You can show them real life stuff going on around them. And they're totally, it's like they totally don't see it. They totally won't believe it. Even if it happens right in front of them, they won't acknowledge it. Why? I'm so glad, praise God, that I'm not that. I've seen things with my own eyes. And I think that some people, because we believe and have faith, or because we know or have some gift or whatever, we see everything. But there's other people who just, even when you show them proof, they live in denial. Even if they witness something with their own eyes, like my stepmother witnessed a miracle when I prayed over my dad and he came out of a coma. And he said that the Blessed Mother had come to him because of my prayers and let him have another chance if he would agree to give his life to her son, Jesus. And he did, a rapid, the next 4 years of his life, he was talking about Jesus to everybody. That was not the same father that had gone into a coma. This guy came back a Jesus freak, just like me. And I'm like, that's the power of God. And he knew what he saw, and he knew it was real. And my stepmother and my family witnessed these things they were there. And they're still denying that, oh, he must not have seen, he must have been dreaming. Oh, we can't explain everything. Even the doctor said it was a medical miracle. There was no way it was possible without an act of God. And my family still denied it. So there's people who just know, like, you gotta wonder, like, even the people, like, for example, when Jesus walked the earth, people saw him raise the dead. Lazarus was in the tomb rotting for 4 days in the heat. No being embalmed, nothing. And he came out of the tomb when Jesus called him, okay? Jesus walked on water. I mean, Jesus appeared and materialized in rooms with doors closed. Jesus had holes in him, and he let doubting Thomas stick his fingers in. Jesus ascended. Jesus raised from the dead. Jesus cast out demons into pigs. Jesus multiplied 5 loaves and fish and fed over 5,000 people. People saw these things and yet still rejected Jesus and said, like on the Sermon on the Mount, this is what it requires to go to heaven. And they all left him. All 5,000 except for the original 12 apostles. Are you kidding me? So I'm not shocked, but I just don't get it. Like, how is it that the majority of the world can be so stupid and call us stupid for believing when we're not just believing, we know. We know for a fact, like, I have seen Jesus and his mother. I have been out of my body. I've had near-death experiences. And even before that, I believed. And I walked in miracles for many years, and I've seen miraculous healings and all kinds of stuff. I've prayed over people as they were dying and felt them go up. I've seen actual ghosts, full-bodied apparitions. I've seen dark shadows. I've seen all kinds of scary, terrifying, demonic stuff, hauntings, poltergeists. And then I've also actually even had family members and friends in the room while furniture's flying around and still walk out of there as if nothing happened. And when you go to talk about it later on, what are you talking about? Nothing happened. And like, what do you mean nothing happened? You were holding on to me for dear life. You were terrified. What do you mean? Are you just in denial? Are you scared? I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see. We can't explain everything, but it wasn't ghosts. No, it was probably demons. Well, I don't believe in that. Then how do you explain what happened? I don't know. Maybe the sun sent a solar flare or something. That doesn't happen. The sun doesn't send this electromagnetic pulse that makes furniture move and lights turn on and off and people will come up with anything to bury their heads in the sand like an ostrich so they don't have to believe what scares them. Or they don't want to believe because then they know that they have to believe the Bible and that they actually have to go to church or they're going to go to hell. Like, they don't want to believe that. So they pick and choose what they will and will not believe and what they'll discard. And they make up their own rules in life and they make up their own delusional realities and then they claim Christians like me who know the truth are making up delusions. But it's not us, it's them. And it's like, this is hope. And it's like, what do you do with people like that? And why are they like that? Are they literally supernaturally blinded? Is there something wrong with these people or something supernatural going on where they cannot be allowed to believe or even admit what they're witnessing? I mean, I don't understand it. I really don't. It's beyond me. It's beyond me because some of these people, and the only people that have actually witnessed things with me, besides my stepmother and family that won't talk to me anymore, most of my friends and stuff who actually saw ghosts with me or saw hauntings or were there when it happened, they're dead now. They died of car accidents or suicide or cancer or whatever. So I don't even have anybody left to even side with me and say, no, I was there, I saw it, he's not making it up. And here's the other kicker. Almost every one of them, if not every one of them, did not Even though they saw and witnessed with their own eyes, just like the 5,000 on the Sermon on the Mount who were with Jesus, and they saw him multiply fish and loaves, and they saw him do miracles and heal people and all that, they still walked away and denied him. So some of these people, God rest their soul, even after witnessing these things with me, still never came to church with me, still never got baptized, still refused to become Christian. And I was like, but you witnessed the same thing. Well, so what? Ghosts exist. Big deal. No big deal. Doesn't mean that the Bible's true. And I'm like, oh man, okay. So it's like you can't even no matter, even when people see, they won't believe or they won't do the right thing. So anyway, tonight, this guy's still saying that I'm making it up or that he doesn't believe me. But I know what I saw. Even the dog is scared. And this dog's normally looking to get out of here when I have him locked up in here with me. Okay? He doesn't even want to walk around the house anymore. He loves running around this house. He loves to, because it's a big house and he's used to a small trailer. And so this dog doesn't even want to leave my side tonight. He's scared. Whatever he saw. Like he's really totally, that's not like my dog. So I'm just telling you. I mean, he's acting really, really strange. It's not like him at all. So, whatever. I just figured I'd make this video because these things happen. They're real. They're intensifying again. I don't know why. But I do know that even when people witness things, I could probably get it on video and they still wouldn't believe. So, Christian brothers and sisters, we got our hands full because you got a world that is now in the end times, and we are so close to the end now, okay, to the tribulation, to the rapture, to everything, the end. And most of the world, the unchristians, they're only getting further from Christ and more cold-hearted and more hard-hearted and more unbelieving. So you would think, like I keep saying, like, okay, now everything I've been preaching for 20 years that is now actually happening, so I don't have to preach so much anymore because I could say, see, I told you the war was going to start. See, I told you it'd be a pandemic. See, I told you I was right. I told you the Bible is true. I told you what was going to happen. And I figured now it's self-explanatory because they're going to see it with their own eyes. But you know what the mainstream media is doing? They're not reporting most of it. So they won't even let the public know. And it's like the public are brainwashed into listening to only what's on the media. And if the media doesn't say it's true or happening, they don't believe it. How stupid can you be? I've worked for the news stations. I'm telling you they're fake and run by the Freemasons. I'm telling you. And people still won't believe. They still don't listen to me. And I've worked at Channel 8 news station and other news stations. I've been there. I know producers who write the news. I've been in the Screen Actors Guild and AFTRA. I've been in Hollywood. I've been in movies. I've been in, oh man, what good is it for me to have proof, first-hand experience and proof of all of this by actually working for these people and being deep in, and still no one believes me or listens or cares. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it would be better off that I didn't know anything or that I kept it to myself because nobody's going to listen or believe anyway. Even when someone like me can prove to them and shows proof and who has experienced it in their own life. Crazy. Just crazy. And so, there's going to be unbelievers, even way after, people get raptured. If there is a rapture, they're going to say, oh, aliens did it, or they're not going to believe. Like, they're still going to choose to believe that we just vaporized, or something happened, or the sun, or, whatever. They're not going to, and even when the bombs are falling in World War III, they're still not going to believe. These people, because they have rejected Christ for so long, they're so far from Him that their hearts are like stone and it's impenetrable. And they don't want the truth and they don't want Jesus. And so basically, they're just going to get further and further away from God and further into more unbelief. And even when Jesus returns, they're not going to believe until he literally chops their head off and casts them into the lake of fire. So it's getting really, really difficult now to preach. I feel like I've heard Jesus say the moment of grace is up. Mercy is up and the doors of mercy are closing. And so now it's the end, and most people, you're either already in the lifeboats or you're not. You're going down with the Titanic. You've made your choice. You waited too long. You're the foolish virgin, 5 foolish virgins type of thing. And when he comes back, now it's just wrath and justice. And it's just sad, because I'm like, Lord, this is so hard to preach to this world, because even with firsthand proof, photos, video proof, they don't believe, they don't listen. Even with other people, witnesses, they're saying that I'm telling the truth, they don't listen or believe. Even when they are witnesses themselves, they don't believe. Even when they see what's going on around the world, they don't want to believe. They're still celebrating Halloween. They're still worrying about putting Christmas trees up when we're about to be annihilated. What do I do? And what's scary is that the demonic activity and hauntings and stuff are going to continue to get worse. And it's going to, and it's either not going to affect them because they don't believe, so the devil knows he's already got them, so he doesn't even bother with them. Or they're just going to dismiss it anyway. Or they're going to run to some new age stuff and say, I guess the ghosts do exist, even though it's not a ghost. And they're going to say, I guess we'll just have to get some sage and smudge the room. That's going to make it worse, moron. You're not listening, Man. How sad it is. It really is sad. But anyway, people, you got to do what you got to do as a Christian, but you need to make sure that you have the armor of Christ on and that you keep drawing closer to Jesus. And that's it. There's nothing else we can do. Don't get discouraged. Try not to get discouraged. But I'm telling you, even when fire and brimstone start falling from the sky, these people still won't believe or listen. Hey, there's nothing we could do about it. As for me and my household, we serve the Lord. We know what is true. We believe. People are going to call us crazy and conspiracy theorists and crazy people and Bible bangers and kooks, but we're not. And we actually know we're not. And count yourself blessed, because you are among the few and the brave that are actually chosen. And that's why you're able to see and believe when everybody else won't or can't anymore. God bless.